Well, howdy, everyone.
Good morning.
See you all. Lovely to be here. This all started back in August, actually. I ran into Reverend Steve and Chris at Silmar while I was playing, and they just invited me the following Sunday to come here and play a little bit. And we talked about having a day where I play some music for you and do a little concert with Pop Luggins. Piece called Shining Child for my first song, and then I'll lead you all in a little congregation. circulates the New Thought Church repertoire. It's called Spirit Chant. I'll teach you too about the words. It's real simple. We'll sing it through once and we'll do it maybe 2 or 3 times. And then we'll go and all sing it. One great big gospel choir.
Let's hear it again for Michael and Doug. Look at you. Turned out to hear some music today. I love to see all your bright, shiny faces here. And welcome to the Grants Pass Center for Spiritual Living. We rock, okay? And we roll, and we enjoy ourselves. And we're so glad that you've made it here this morning. I know you have a A lot of different places you can be after that extra hour we gave you last night of sleep. Everybody took full advantage of that, I see. And here at the Center for Spiritual Living, we believe in prayer. That is what we live by. And we're going to start with what we start every Sunday with, which is reading our vision mission statement that's up on the screen. That says that
we are an open, loving, spiritual community dedicated to evolving consciousness through teaching spiritual principles.
Again, I know you have a lot of different places you could have showed up this morning, but you showed up here. This is the place to be. You made it. Relax, enjoy. We have a 4-hour experience planned for you this morning. I hope you brought your pad, not the one to write on, but the one to sleep on. No, I'm kidding. Well, we do have some announcements I'd like to quickly go over. First off, this is not in the e-news. This just came out. If you see our giving tree in the back corner, it's already there. We support the foster children in this community, and please take a card. Here, let me read it. I always get, if I don't read exactly what it's supposed to say, people go, you didn't really say what it's supposed to say. So here, there are 3 request gifts for each child. If you cannot find that exact item or similar to those items, then any age-appropriate gift is always appreciated. You do not have to get all 3 items, but you're welcome to if you feel called to do so. It has been requested that the gifts not be wrapped. All unwrapped gifts are to be handed in the end of November. So we've got all November to get these in. So please, if you're moved to help the foster children in this community, please take a card and fulfill that gift for them. That would really make their holiday season that much better. Side Dish Sunday. I know that we have a lot of side dishes going on. And I just asked that after we're done with the service, if you could wait just like 10 minutes so that we could prepare everything. If everybody just zooms over there, we're still trying to fight everybody to get the stuff to the table that's still in the oven. So, FHB, family hold back. And just give us a few minutes. But I want to thank everybody that brought their favorite side dish. Who needs turkey when you got the side dish, right? That's what everybody really comes for, right? Michael Mandrell, he's incredible. If you've seen these guitars up here, I urge you to look at this 12-string one that has the custom Rising Phoenix, I'm going to call it, inlay. And the beautiful rosette. It's an incredible piece, and he will be playing that for sure this afternoon at his concert at 12:30. Please stay for a wonderful acoustic guitar concert that is he'll be splitting the proceeds. It's a fundraiser for us, for our center. He gets 70% of the proceeds and we get 30, which is very generous for him to come and play for us. So please come and stay for the beautiful concert. Classes. The Angel Discussion Group is being held over by popular demand. Apparently the angels are not done speaking. So for 2 more weeks, Nancy Yonley will be here on Tuesdays at 1:30 over in the LEC building. Please come and speak to the angels, or let the angels speak through you if that's your thing. We all, the angels are in the blue seats. So if you see someone in a blue seat, they're an angel. So just introduce yourselves. Okay, the 40-day Unexpected Income Prosperity program. This is our last Sunday, and we're going to meet in a conference room quickly right after the service, just to kind of tie things up and speak quickly, say our abundance prayer, and have that experience. Save the date. Foundations class. The free Foundations class is going to be starting up January 5th from 1 to 4 in the afternoon. It's free. It's usually $200, but we're waiving that fee. It's only a $45 registration fee that goes directly to the home office, so you can get your certificate and be registered with our center. And we have lots of wonderful pets. We love our pets, don't we? And as long as they are in good control, they will roam around the sanctuary. So we just love our pets, and I couldn't tell people you can't leave them in the car. So if you have a sensitivity to pets, please stay away from them. That's all I can say. Save the date. Okay, that class is January 5th, $45. It's 10 weeks. There's also a Saturday that we'll be doing a Fear to Faith workshop and the 5 Steps of Spiritual Mind Treatment workshop. So stay tuned for that. As usual, our metaphysical book study is 9 to 9:45. We're having a blast. We got like 12 people today. It was so wonderful. Please come if you're interested in the Science of Mind textbook that Dr. Ernest Holmes wrote back in 1927. Please come and partake of our book study. It's a wonderful way to get into the experience of Science of Mind and learn what Dr. Ernest Holmes wrote about this teaching. And finally, meditation group, 9:50 to 10:05 continues. And then community news. I want to thank everybody that donated to the Women's Crisis Center.
Yes,
thank you, Jennifer, for correcting me that. We support that, that wonderful work that they're doing to help women in challenge that not need to have something in our boxes overflowing with good stuff. And with that, I will now have us all stand as we sing "We Are One." And Michael and Chris will lead.
Good morning, I'm Bucky Dinnerline, one of the practitioners here at the Spiritual Center, and I welcome each and every one of you on Zoom and in the room. Please join me in reading the gratitude.
I am so thankful for the mundane routines of my life. I know they are actually sacred, and so it is.
And so it is. You may wonder what a practitioner is, and we have provided you a little sheet in the back of the seats so that you can read about what it is to be a practitioner. Basically, we are your prayer partners, and we are here for you in confidential prayer. Each Sunday after the service, we are available for a short affirmative prayer, and all you need to do is see is our table practitioner, who is today Jamaica Wallace, sitting in the back of the rooms, holding the high watch for us during this service. Please see Jamaica after the service if you would like to request prayer. We have several of us. Anybody who's a practitioner that's available this morning, Deborah, myself, Paula, and Jamaica in the background. And we have Tracia back with us. Welcome back, Tracia. We're so happy to see you again back with us. Wonderful. Is there anybody who has a November birthday? Oh, Tracia does. Oh, there's a bunch of people for it. Wonderful. Well, let's sing an a cappella version of Happy Birthday. How's that? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. That's wonderful. All right. We have some beautiful flowers that Deborah brought last week, and have I missed anybody? There's some lovely flowers and some wonderful pumpkins still with us too. So we are festive. Thank you. You know, there's a little tradition we have here in the center that we would like to welcome people who have not been here before, to let you get a little welcome packet from us so that you can become a little more familiar with what the science of mind philosophy is, what we teach and we try with what we live here at the Center for Spiritual Living. So if you're here for the first time, please raise your hand. Reverend Steve has a little welcome packet for you. Reverend Steve, I think we've got some on both sides of the room there. Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Jamaica. Welcome, everyone. All right. Super. Thank you. And be sure and stay afterwards. We'd like to get to know you and let you get to know us as we have that little 10-minute break, and then we go into having some good food and enjoying Michael Mantrell's concert. So all are welcome. Just in case you haven't turned your cell phone off, please do, or anything that makes beeps. And let's read the prayer together, which is coming up on the screen now. Day to day living is sacred. I honor all aspects of my life, realizing it is all spiritual, beautiful, and divinely inspired. And so it is. So please remain seated as we sing, I Am Loved. With the time change, it's official that the shadows are getting longer and the days are getting shorter. Just when everything in the natural world is settling into a period of rest and quiet, I don't know about you, but I often find myself longing to also go dormant for a while, like an old bear. In these times, trying to keep up with the life as usual can feel a bit like working against nature itself. It makes sense that the changing of the seasons might put us on a funk, even if it doesn't feel culturally expansioned, okay to acknowledge it. I mean, really, we sort of feel like an old grumpy bear heading into the den. That loss of light and warmth is kind of hard for us as mammals. And whether we intend to or not, we might find ourselves putting up a fight. For me, it looks like this. I have so much to do, but I'm so tired. I don't feel like doing anything. Cue the dread and shame of taking unglamorous, nearly vegetative downtime. I know I'm not alone in this. Somebody recently said to me, I spent all day rotting on the couch. This is one of my high-functioning friends, right? Yeah. But maybe that kind of mild depression, as gross as it can feel, is a bodily survival tactic, and it gets us to slow down and rest when we need to. What if we were to normalize the less prolific parts of our experience, to let the inner world also have its seasons? Rotting, resting, being unproductive, letting yourself feel sad or bad or tired or moody or like a goblin. So I invite you at this point, here we are in the fall, to rest into this little meditation together. Relaxing and closing your eyes if you're comfortable, or taking a soft focus on something. Seeing both sides as one. Life can appear to be filled with paradoxes. It's good to remember that it all comes from the one. We see beyond appearances to the source of life itself. I see through the eye of the divine. I am grateful for my sacred vision, knowing God is all there is. Let us embrace the all, remembering that there is one and only one life, and that life is God. When we truly live in this, we find we are willing to embrace all the good of life, the all good of God. In this moment, and every moment, I embrace the goodness of life. I am a channel through which the good of God flows. I embrace my life with joy. In unlimited thinking, we remember to choose thinking. Remember that as we believe we have to choose between this or that, that is only limited thinking. Seeing both sides allows us to live from a this and that attitude in unlimited thinking. So knowing that we are set up to thrive, everything in life prospers us now. We live from a place of knowing that we can experience this and that. For this, I am grateful. And everywhere we go, we are the life of God. In gratitude, I surrender to this truth, knowing that each one of us is a fulfillment of God's vision. And for this truth and so much more, I give great thanks. And so it is. It's it's wonderful that now we have some very special music by Michael Mandrell before Reverend Steve's enlightened talk. So welcome.
Want to take the mic down?
So I understand that in Swanee language, the word Bhagavan means of God. So I wrote this piece sometime back.
Can you come up just a little bit, Michael?
Guitar, vocal, or both?
Both.
Everything?
Oh, just a little. Master. Thank you.
Settle better. I was gonna ask you how it sounded. More importantly, like, how do I look? Where was it? Oh, yeah, Bhagavan. So I'm gonna play this for Reverend Steve. It's called Bhagavan Dude.
again for Michael Mandrell. Really blessed to have that. So soothing, isn't it? Well, we're into November, and we have a whole new topic, which is the mundane, the sacred, and the profane. Oh my. And this week, we're talking about the mundane. So, before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. There's this famous painter who was sitting there in their art studio painting, and their assistant ran in and said, "You've just sold your 1,000,000th painting." He sat there and painted. Because that's what he did. He painted constantly. He expected that. How mundane. 1,000,000 paintings? Wow. But wait, I thought this enlightenment thing was supposed to be, like, wow, I'm awake, alert, and aware. My whole life has changed. Well, following our exploration of the paradoxes in October, we now delve into ways we categorize life, separating and judging based on perceived importance. So this month we'll explore and examine each of these three: the ordinary, the mundane life, the perceived sacred life with all its rules and practices, and the profane or secular, the not spiritual life. And finally, we have the oh my. Can't wait for that one, right? But all these weeks are important. So if you've ever had a road trip with a young person, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Spiritually we say this all the time. Are we there yet? No. You never get there, really. Because when you get there, you go somewhere else. As humans, we learn to categorize different aspects of our experience here. We want to live in a state of constant excitement. We want always something to be happening. We're in a microwave technology. I don't want to wait for popcorn. I want 2 minutes, right? 2 minutes on the microwave. She's trained me well. I can make popcorn. I can do that. But we want it now. We don't want to wait. We want really good stuff and we want it immediately. But there's a process. We find that there's these mundane things that we do. We fill the dishwasher, or maybe you still do the dishes. We go shopping. We have to cook our food. It's not all microwaved. We have to take out the garbage. Somebody's got to do that. And who does the laundry? Who does the laundry? Yeah. I do some of it. I usually end up with the stuff in the dryer that's got to be folded. You know how sacred and meditative folding laundry can be if you know what you're doing? It can be a whole Zen experience of, especially the sheets. But we need to make those things just as sacred as coming here on Sunday, don't we? Because everything is sacred. I always say, music flies out of the dog do when you become spiritual. And when you become spiritual, you know what I mean. We just know that life could be so much more if we didn't have to deal with these mundane things. You know, last night Michael and Eva are staying at my house, and Michael was changing strings on his guitar. And if you've ever changed strings on a guitar, or 4 guitars, it's a mundane. I mean, it's, you know, cranking and tuning and clipping and all the things that go with it. And it's a mundane project. But it's so cool after he had changed the strings, he had to play it to stretch the strings and see if it was in perfect tune. And my house was filled with acoustic guitar music. I was laying in bed just listening to him banter. And it was mundane. There was no real song. I mean, maybe it was to him, but I was just listening to him play. And it was so beautiful. And I was thinking to myself, this is exactly the divinity that we're looking for. I didn't have to listen for a tune. I could just listen to tune. And it was so beautiful. But you know, our mind tries to make it into a song, you know? Isn't that AC/DC out here? Isn't that Randy Rhoads? But what if the mundane were just the sacred in disguise? And just as important and valuable as everything else. And it is. You know, we kind of block out some things. You know, when you're sitting at a red light, maybe you're listening to the radio or you're, you know, eyeballing the other light, trying to see when it's going to turn yellow. No, we don't do that now. But that's my cue to connect with sacredness. That's my cue. That's my moment to go into that. Now, I don't close my eyes. The person behind me would think I'm on my cell phone. But I go into that state of connection to Source, to Christ consciousness. And just for a split second, I turn the mundane into a spiritual experience. And that's what life is. You know that you're never not praying? You know, you think you have to go into a spiritual mind treatment and do the 5 steps. Well, that's good too. But you're always praying. Every word you say is a prayer. So be careful what you mutter to yourself if you've made some silly mistake. If you've spilt the milk in your life, so they say. You're like, oh, you spiritual being, you. In the twinkling of an eye, we can change our minds. You know, and it just takes a moment. You know, my analogy is, you know, maybe you're turning into the parking lot here, and there's somebody that's walking on the sidewalk, so you stop. And you hear this toot of the horn behind you. Meep, meep. And you're like, hey, don't you see somebody's crossing here? You know, hey. And then you notice that it's somebody you know, and they're just saying, hi, I know you. And instantaneously we change our mind. Oh, hi. How quickly we can take that mundane moment of being ridiculed for stopping for someone on the sidewalk and know that it's just someone saying, hello, I love you. Next time you get honked at, just say, I love you too. And remember this mundane moment and turn it into something sacred. That's what we do. If you, the next time you have something happen that you criticize yourself, go, this is one of those mundane, crazy moments that I'm supposed to connect. Oh, thank you. Instead of, you, thus and so, fill in the blank to your favorite adjective. So, it's a destination we have to arrive at. Heaven is right here and right now. Don't wait to get to heaven. It is time to spend those kids' inheritance. It's time. Spend it. Spend it all. Whatever's left over, give it to Humane Society. I don't care. What consciousness do you live in? Heaven or hell? Think about it. And sometimes I'm in heaven, and there are times I'm in hell. Let's see. Stairway to heaven or highway to hell? Which song is your favorite? It depends on my mood, right? Depends on my situation. But spiritual practices involve a certain amount of mindfulness. Practicing the presence. That's what a practitioner does. A practitioner is one who is versed in the science of practicing the awareness of the presence of source energy. What if you were to know that Christ consciousness, source energy, is always on, but we're not always tuned into it? We think that when we tune into it, that it turns on, right? It's just like thinking that if we go to flip a switch, that the power company says, oh, he's going to flip the switch, get the power going. It's always on, readily available. But we have to flip the switch. What if you were always... It's like having a provider. If you don't have a provider, your cell phone is just a paperweight. Right? I've been there. You ever cell phone go down? You thought it was the end of the world, didn't you? Something happened to it and you had to go over to the store and figure out, how do I get reconnected to source energy? I'm at 49%. Someone plug me in. All right, back to my dog. That is what a practitioner does. We practice the presence of the awareness of God. Move your mind from whatever your challenge is or your problem is to source energy. This doesn't mean you deny that you're going through something. It means that you don't give it any more power. And if you don't give it power, it's not hooked up to source and it dissolves back into the nothingness from which it came. This doesn't mean that we don't care. It means we don't care to feed it. Which dog will you feed? The one that is brought you the challenge, or the one that is part of the solution? Now, we need to get the gift from the dog that has the challenge, or it will resurface somewhere else as a different type of challenge trying to get our attention. If you didn't get the gift will continue in another form. This is what self-awareness is. Being able to be aware of the situation so greatly that you get the gift so you can move on through life with another tool in your tool belt. That's what life is. Pay attention to when we label something or judge something good or bad. Ooh, that's bad. Oh, that's so good. It all just is. Are we disconnected from reality or just our source cell phone tower? Are we living in constant gratitude? Simply being grateful for all that is all the time? You know, as humans, we learn to categorize, put a label on something, to assess, to judge, to compare, which only introduces separation and duality. It's just how our minds work. But we must change the way our minds work. Change your thinking, change your experience. This is an important function of our brains. However, it can also lead to incorrect assessments. And it can cut us off from our experience of being in the moment and simply just being. In our daily lives, we determine what is important and what's not based on classifications. Is this important? Is this high on my list, or is this low on my list? But what if it were all just part of your list? What if you could write your list in just a stream of consciousness rather than up and down? You know, it just is. What if those mundane tasks, which we have seen previously as unimportant, ordinary or mundane, are actually the gateways to seeing the infinite? You know, when I started working on this talk, I started doing this, and we were taking our dogs for a walk. And literally music flew out of the dog tail. I'll tell you that right now. I was like, wow, this is incredible. This is, what do you think? D-O-G, G-O-D. My dyslexic mind sees it all as one. What if they are gateways to our true self? You know, there's a gentleman by the name of Brother Lawrence who wrote The Practice of the Presence of God. And it's a little tiny book. I've read it. And he received many of his huge spiritual insights while washing the dishes, cooking, and making sandals. Brother Lawrence always began his tasks with a short prayer to God, recognizing God's ever-present consciousness, asking for guidance in whatever task he was about to begin. And what if we tried that before we took out the garbage or went grocery shopping or laundry? Ooh, laundry. So spiritual. I can't wait to do that. She's like, yeah, there's a whole basket there that you need. I always pick on Chris. Yeah, that's here. Chris is my partner here, and I always pick on her, and she's a good sport about it. So thank you, Chris. She's gonna get me later. So there's a photographer that used to take pictures with a local camera club. And they would go to beautiful places and do their photography. And this photographer, who happened to be a Zen Buddhist at the time, would notice where all the rest of the club members were looking and taking their pictures, and he would turn exactly the opposite direction and take pictures to see what was happening in the opposite direction. And he had award-winning pictures. The other club members would always ask, "Where was that?" He would reply that while they were looking at the big, obvious beauty, he found beauty in the mundane places. You know, we're conditioned to see certain beauty, you know? The waterfall. What about the backside of the waterfall? You know, our lives should be about the big world-saving activities, shouldn't they? Or high-impact moments of excellence. We're addicted to stimulation and experiences. You know, they have amusement parks just for this. To go risk falling out of some contraption. Woohoo! Most of us spend maybe 10 minutes a day in meditation. And perhaps it's even a mindless meditation. Maybe we don't even give ourselves that much. And then we head out to a busy, restless day. And finally, we fall into restless sleep. Our thoughts are in the past or the future, but seldom right here, right now. You know, we're always trying to figure out what we did wrong or what we might do wrong. Yet, we know that the presence is right here, right now. Not out there somewhere or behind us somewhere. Can we turn in the opposite direction of our dominant attention and go, what is really happening here? Can we see beauty, the sacred, in exactly what we're doing right now? Can we stop waiting for something exciting to happen and be fully present with what is right now? Can we make this mundane moment exciting just by raising our consciousness level, just by deciding that we want it to be different? Let's learn to take a breath and return to this now moment. What comes after enlightenment? The Buddhists answered, before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. We live as humans, no matter how enlightened we are. We all are human beings, or human doings. We are here to experience the Spirit in the human form. All of this is the dance of life. You know, you chose this. You know you chose this? You decided to have this experience? You're like, I didn't choose this, man. I just woke up and I was here. It doesn't work that way. You had to agree to this in some level. To believe that enlightenment transforms us to where so-called mundane tasks are no longer necessary is a fantasy. In the old days, carrying water from the river for cooking and cleaning, gathering firewood for cooking and warmth, were basic necessities for oneself and for the community. In the hero's journey, the enlightened one returns to society. But before enlightenment, all had been duty and obligation driven, with the seeker being in struggle consciousness. But now, after our enlightenment, the same tasks are done with joy for the sake of the task themselves. What if you were just going to the store to shop, not to get everything on your list? When was the last time you just went without a list and just picked up what you knew you could afford? Well, that's what you do all the time, Eva. You just shop. You can take a lesson. Let's just go to the store and know that we don't have to look at our bank account. We can afford whatever we want. So in conclusion, when we can rise out of our conditioning, we can look around with new, clear eyes, clear minds, and see what truly is. But just like climbing a tree or a mountain, to gain a higher perspective, it takes effort. Don't let the effort exhaust you so you can't enjoy when you get there. Old tracks of labeling things as mundane, worldly, or unimportant will keep us bogged down in the fog of unclarity. Always seeing the grass as greener on the other side will keep us focused wherever the other side is and not into this moment. If we can reorient ourselves to view everything we do as a meditation, we can begin to let go of the wandering, the worrying monkey mind, and let our attention gently rest right where we are right now. Can you rest? Be still and know that you are exactly right where you're supposed to be. So this week, set a reminder on your phone for 3:33 in the afternoon. Just a little chime to remind you. I mean, if you're into that numerology sort of thing, if you think that holds any weight with you, or whatever time you want, 1:11, 2:42, whatever works for you. But set something that you go, I'm just going to take a moment and connect. I'm going to be in source energy for just 5 seconds. And then get on with your day. And of course, your alarm, you're going to set it when you're in the midst of some big meeting. It always happens. It's just how it happens. But still, take that second and go, oh, I have to take a second. And take your second, and then return to your meeting. It may be standing in the store, sitting in traffic, taking out the garbage, or some other mundane task. But take that moment to remember who you are. Flip your thinking. Turn the opposite direction. And just look what's behind you. Just for the fun of it. This is the most important and sacred moment of my day. Right here and right now. Enjoy it. Just feel alive and connected for a moment. What this does is it begins the healing process. Not just for you individually and whatever you're walking through or your body, but the world. The state of consciousness needs that stillness so that we aren't so freaked out all the time. Turn off the news. I know that the oneness is right here and right now, and I'm noticing it. Begin to practice the presence wherever you are right now. And so it is. teaching and go within. So let's take a moment and remember who we are. I invite you to take a soft focus on something in the room, or just find yourself connected to source energy wherever you find that. And remember that something powerful is happening right now. I invite you to bring to the forefront of your consciousness what you believe created you. I don't believe that we consciously created ourselves. Maybe we did. But I know that there's a power at work that is constantly allowing leaves to grow, to fulfill the tree, and then to fall to the ground. I know that the divine energy of life is always available to us. And as we move our attention to what source energy is, rather than concentrating on whatever our challenge is, source energy rushes in and the healing begins. So I may not know what you're working with right now, but I know the divine does. And we just invite that divine healing energy to seep in this moment. Love. 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 How good it is to spend just a moment in love with life and all of its mundane challenges and situations, smiling at all of the little tasks that make up our day, because a miracle is happening in the space between the spaces. And as we activate that and let it grow, we become the miraculous energy of the divine healing that's happening. So let's bask in the gratitude. Let us be so grateful for whatever is happening that it doesn't matter, because the gratefulness is what takes over. This is the month of being thankful. Let that Thanksgiving be all month, all year, all of your life, and you shall truly transform this world. As we let go, releasing these words directly into the living, loving law of mind where we know it is already done, we affirm this together by saying, so it is. Amen. Woo. Woo. Yeah, you can feel it. Hear an amen.
Amen.
That's the church chemistry. That's okay. All right, it's time for our offertory idea about sharing, prosperity, sharing affirmation. If you'd like to take your gift in your hand and put your hand on your heart, let's affirm this together.
I give freely and joyously to the Grants Pass CSL, giving thanks for divine circulation, and so it is.
offertory this morning. From the love of pure spiritual energy, these tithes and gifts have been collected. They're evidence of our faith, our belief, and our ability to manifest in this world of form. They do good work in this world. They bless the giver and the receiver and allow this, the Grants Pass Center for Spiritual Living, to be open and available to those who are choosing to remember who they are, and even for those who may not know it yet. And for that, this entire community is blessed. How grateful we are. And so it is. Okay, well, it's time for our last song. If you'd like to stand up, we will sing. And just remember that we are going to wait a few minutes before we rush over to feed, so that if we wanted a couple of the chorus people come up so that they can sing with us, we will do a little bit of, go ahead and get the first slide up there, Angela. Thank you. Benediction, please repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening right now.
Something wonderful is happening right now.
It's happening in my mind.
It's happening in my mind.
It's happening in my body.
It's happening in my body.
It's happening in the body of my affairs.
It's happening in the body of my affairs.
I think it.
I think it.
I feel it.
I feel it.
And I know it.
I know it.
Just the way that it is.
Just the way that it is.
And just the way that it is not.
And just the way that it is not.
Thank you, life.
Thank you, life.
Have an awesome week, everybody. Go ahead and wait and let the servers go and get everything ready for us. Thank you.